What's up, everyone? I'm Jenny.
And I'm Jessie.
You're listening to Milkshakes and Ghosts.
This episode is brought to you by
Sinister Brew Coffee isn't your ordinary cup of joe. It's a bold, horror-themed, small-batch coffee company owned by veterans who dare to take your taste buds on a dark and delicious journey.
From cosmic creations to cryptid-inspired blends, every roast comes with a sinister twist. Handcrafted for those who crave something truly unique.
It's not just coffee. It's an experience steeped in mystery, macabre storytelling, and flavors that are to die for.
Dare to sip in the shadows and join the Sinister family at sinisterbrewcoffee.com,
where every cup reminds you that the darkness is delicious.
It's Listener Tales, and it's brought to you by all you milkshake drinkers and ghost enthusiasts.
I love Listener Tales.
Listener Tales are my fave type of episode. I love hearing spooky stories from all of you wonderful people out there.
I wish every episode was like this. I think it would make our job a lot easier. No research, people just writing in with their spooky tales, getting us all scared. I love these episodes. We should do episodes like this every week. We should just change the whole podcast up.
Same here. It is going to be the best day. Not only do we get to do listener tales, but we get to drink milkshakes. And mine's is so good today.
I feel really hyper right now from sugar in my milkshake. Love it. So, what is in your cup, Jessie? I'm seeing a whole lot of pink around the rim in your cup. Looks really cool, but I'm a little scared to find out what's in it.
That's because I'm drinking a Mean Girls pink milkshake, inspired by Jonathan Bennett, a character from the movie Mean Girls.
I love that movie. Well, I love only the original. You know, the one with Lindsay Lohan.
I could not sit through the new one.
Same, girl. No offense to anyone who preferred the newer movie of Mean Girls over the older one.
Yeah, just the newer one was just not for us.
Nope, it sure wasn't. So, what is in your Mean Girls pink milkshake? I'm so scared to find out right now.
It's a blend of strawberry ice cream, milk, and vanilla extract, topped with pink animal crackers, strawberry gummies, pink cotton candy, and whipped cream.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of sugar.
It probably is, but it tastes really good. It's to die for.
Where in the world did you just pull out that gummy worm? I know you guys can't see, but Jessie just pulled out a gummy worm and she's eating it. Where did that come from? I want some.
I just told you I had strawberry gummies in my milkshake.
Okay, you gotta give me one.
No.
Give me!
No.
Ugh.
Mine. Anyway, I used all dairy-free products like I always do, but the recipe did not require it.
It's the sugar.
I just prefer dairy-free stuff. It's easier on my tummy. I got the recipe online, and I will link it in our show notes for those of you who are interested in trying it. I recommend it. It's really good.
As you can see, the sugar is getting to her. It really does look good, no lie.
No lie. So anyway, Mom, I have a question for you.
What's the question?
Did a leprechaun die in your cup where I'm just seeing things? Because it's looking really green inside your cup.
No, a leprechaun didn't die in my cup, Jessie. I just wanted to do something creative today. I found this recipe. It's a copycat version of the McDonald's Shamrock Shake. You've tried it before in the past, before we had to do all dairy-free for you, way back in the days. I don't know if you remember, you were really little.
What's in it besides a deceased leprechaun? I sound like a minion when I laugh.
I probably sound like a witch.
You do.
A leprechaun is not in my drink, okay? Although it may look that way. So this recipe right now, it might look a little complicated because it's green, Jessie, but it's actually really easy. It's just vanilla ice cream, whole milk, a little bit of heavy cream, mint extract, and of course, because it's green, I put green food coloring. And then I topped it with some whipped cream. I can't talk. Topped it with some whipped cream and green sprinkles.
Well, is it good?
It's pretty good. It does taste a lot like the McDonald's Shamrock Shake. I will link the recipe in the show notes if anyone else is interested in making it. You can have a Shamrock milkshake year-round because, as you guys know, McDonald's tends to sell this only in March. So instead of just drinking Shamrock Shakes in March, you can have them year-round, and you can be like me and look like you have a little leprechaun in your cup.
I don't think no one wants to be like you. You old, you from 1900s.
Leave my age out of this, okay?
You're still old though.
I am not old, Jessie.
Sure about that?
1,000% sure.
Who says except you?
Anyways, time to get into what everyone came here for.
Which is Listener Tale.
Listener Tales. A special thank you to Jack, our wonderful assistant. Jack selected all these stories we're about to read.
Stores?
Stories.
You said stores.
Said stories. We've got too much sugar. And we're podcasting at night. We never podcast at night, and it's raining outside. It's like the perfect spooky time, spooky vibes to podcast. It's raining, it's thundering, and it's nighttime. Talk about creepiness.
Thank you so much, Jack. Jack went through almost like 950,000 or 950 emails. I'm not sure. My eyes hurt from looking at that computer when I saw how many stories we received. Wow.
We definitely couldn't do this podcast without Jack.
This episode is brought to you by
Tired of the same old coffee routine? Craving a cup of paradise? Introducing Kona Coffee House LV. Bring the magic of Kona coffee straight to you, wherever you are.
Kona Coffee House LV uses only the finest 100% organic Hawaiian Kona coffee beans, made by perfection by Sammy Scrumptious herself. These gluten-free and preservative-free beans are a rare specialty, offering a unique and unforgettable taste experience.
No need to wait in line. Kona Coffee House LV is mobile, delivering a taste of paradise. Book Kona Coffee today for corporate events, parties, venues, and so much more.
Follow Kona Coffee on Instagram at Kona Coffee House LV for updates on upcoming events. Visit their website at KonaCoPale.com to learn more and schedule your Kona Coffee experience today. Don't miss out on this exclusive opportunity to savor the world's finest coffee. Our first story is titled My First Paranormal Encounter by Tony Shapiro.
I remember Tony. We read stories by Tony Shapiro before.
Girl, yes, we sure have. Tony sends the most bone-chilling stories.
I get literally nightmares every time Tony sends a story. It's absolutely fantastic, though.
Yeah, Jesse and we're on a whole different level. Anytime we get nightmares, we wake up thinking that would make a wonderful movie or a really spooky book.
Anyway, if every good nightmare could be turned into a movie, that would be like amazing.
It sure would. Write that down, Jack. We need to start doing that. Keep a dream journal and just start creating movies and books from what we dream, because we dream some crazy stuff. Jack, write that down.
Write that down, boy. Write that down.
He's sitting there shaking his head like, I don't get paid enough for this.
I'll pay you an extra $50. How about that?
Don't make him quit, Jesse. We can't find another assistant.
Sorry, Jack, I love you.
Okay, so Tony says, my paranormal encounters began in 1964, when I was just 4 years old. My family and I lived in a house that must have been at least a century old by the time we occupied it. I can recall every detail of that forsaken place, every corner of every room. My sister and I shared bedrooms with either our mother or grandmother, and from time to time, we would swap our sleeping arrangements with either parent. My mother had assigned me a small cabinet for my coloring books, crayons, and other art supplies, including a pair of safety scissors that children used in those days. I was diligent about putting everything away before bed, and I never deviated from this practice. That night, the atmosphere shifted. I sensed an undeniable presence watching me. When I opened my eyes, I noticed a child standing in the corner of the bedroom, staring at me. He was illuminated and didn't resemble any of the other children I played with, though I didn't realize it at the time that he was a spirit. My curiosity outweighed my fear. My brow furrowed, and he appeared desperate, or perhaps he was apologetic. In any event, I felt an inexplicable empathy for him, even though we never exchanged a word. Instead, we seemed to engage in a silent conversation, child to child. However, my compassion quickly transformed into terror when a tall, skeletal figure emerged from the dark abyss behind him. Its movements were not fluid, but jagged, reminiscent of a strobe light. His hideous face was twisted with malevolence, eyes blue and bulging with evil intent, and his insidious grin widened with each beat of my racing heart. I gasped, struggling to draw breath and unable to scream, paralyzed by fear as he reveled in my terror. My mother was just inches away, yet I found myself frozen, unable to reach out to her. I turned to look at the corner, and the boy had vanished as the abomination shifted its gaze toward my cabinet, its movements deliberate and menacing. With the flick of his bony fingers, he opened the cabinet and found what he sought, my scissors. The chilling sound of snip, snip, snip echoed in the room as he approached me, savoring the fear that radiated from my tiny body. Finally, I managed to scream, diving under the blankets and seeking refuge against my mother. Peeked out for just a moment, in hopes that he had gone. But the demon was right there to greet me, only inches from my tear-stained face. Snip, snip, snip. My mother rushed to help me, believing something was physically wrong. I was so hysterical, a level of distress I had never displayed before, while my grandmother and sister rushed in, confusion written on their faces. Once they were assured that I was fine, I switched rooms with my sister and slept with my grandmother instead. I hadn't gotten any more sleep that night. The next morning, I crept into my mother's bedroom, searching for my shoes, still wary of the hideous creature. To my horror, I found my scissors lying on the floor, exactly where the evil being had dropped them, proving that everything I had seen the night before was real. I never slept in my mother's room again. That was a movie, what?
It is such a creepy story.
Very creepy, and I loved every word of it. Thank you, Tony, for sending us your story. This needs to be made seriously into a movie.
The next story we have is titled, Did My BFF Make the Lights Flicker from Beyond the Grave? I mean, it'd be like that, so I could see that happening with me and my best friend.
Which is me.
Oh.
Which is me.
Uh-huh, sure, yeah. I have multiple best friends, Mom.
I am number one. Numero uno.
I don't know if that's
I'm number one, girl. I'm number one. I always will be. You're my number one, Jessie.
But you don't have no friends.
Okay, I do. All of these beautiful people listening to us, I consider all of them my friends, okay?
Do they consider you as their friend?
I hope so. Hello? Hello out there?
They can't hear. Well, they can't hear. They can't hear us, so we can't hear them.
Are you still there?
So the story says, Hi, Jenny, Jessie, Jack, and the beautiful fur babies. Oh my god, she included our fur babies. Oh my god. Ah. My name is Lois, and yes, you can use my name.
Hi, Lois. Thanks for writing in. Girl, you're my friend, right? Write back and tell me if we friends. We have to be friends. You're listening. Hello? Hello?
I'm probably her friend. You gotta get out here, bro.
I just got broed by my daughter. We are living in such different times.
Anyway, Lois says, December of 2024, one of my good friends passed away from cancer. Prior to her passing, I visited for months while she was still in the hospital. I literally watched her deteriorate right before my very eyes. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Fast forward to after the funeral, I was helping her boyfriend and family clean her apartment. While I was cleaning the bathroom, the lights kept flickering on and off, and I called out my friend's name and asked, "If that's you, make the lights flicker 3 times in a row." And it did. I started crying. It touched me to know she was somehow still with me. I told her boyfriend and mom what had happened, but I don't think they believed me. They told me I was just overwhelmed with grief. I know it sounds crazy, but I felt my best friend's presence in that moment. Am I going crazy, or was it really my best friend letting me know she was still there? Sincerely, Lois.
Lois, I'm really sorry for your loss.
I am too, Lois, and I don't think you're crazy. That was definitely your best friend, trying to bring you comfort.
You know, she was probably just letting you know she's still with you. And she was probably really thankful for you cleaning up her apartment. I can only imagine how much you must miss her. This is so hard for me to talk about. My best friend passed away a couple of years ago. Grief really does do a lot of things. And it's never easy when it's somebody that you care about who passes away. But Lois, please know that you're not alone. You're definitely not alone with this. And I know right now, your best friend is smiling down at you, looking at you right now. And she's still there. A part of her will always still be with you because of that friendship.
Thank you so much for writing in, Lois. Wishing you happiness and positivity.
The next story we have is entitled, Holy Cow, Did I Just See a Ghost?
It's a holy cow! I love what they titled it.
That was a great title. I could see why Jack picked this one. Okay, so this person asks to remain anonymous, and their letter says, Hello, everyone. I followed the both of you on all social media platforms. I'm also a Patreon subscriber.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Thank you for being a Patreon subscriber. Thank you.
Yes, we love our Patreons. Okay, so this person writes, I would like to remain anonymous due to the professional nature of my job, and I don't want to be labeled as crazy. LOL.
If you're crazy, then everyone in the paranormal community is crazy.
So very true. Okay, so the letter says, so I recently saw videos you posted regarding the ghostly activity in your home. After seeing the third video, I felt encouraged to write in.
Hold on, before you continue on, let me just explain to our audience really quick about what this person is talking about.
That's a really good idea.
A couple of weeks ago, someone was unalived on a street in the back of our home. My mom and I posted videos regarding the strange events that happened after the incident. If you want to know more about the information, go check out TikTok and YouTube to see what we have posted.
Yeah, things have gotten a little weird, especially with me.
I'm not going to get deep into what happened because you guys have to see the videos, but I just wanted to make everyone aware before my mom continues reading the letter.
So like Jessie said, if anyone is interested in hearing about what kind of ghostly activity is happening in our home right now, check out our YouTube channel or TikTok for the full video. Okay, so the letter says, about a month ago, I was driving home from work. It was about 2:30 a.m. There's an old farmhouse that I pass every day to and from work. It's abandoned and creepy, but I've never experienced or seen anything driving past it. That is, until that night. My windows were rolled down since the weather was nice and breezy. As I'm driving, it suddenly became freezing cold. And I don't mean chilly. I mean like taking a swim in a frozen pond cold. I could actually see smoke from my breath. I quickly rolled up the windows. As I'm doing so, my car starts making a strange sound. The headlights are flickering on and off. Then, it completely died. Man, that is the worst time for a car to die. Oh, that is scary. Now, my car is not an old rundown car. It's rather new. I'm not going to say the make and the model since I'm really trying to remain anonymous. Plus, if I were to tell you what kind of car I drove, anyone listening who knew me would know that's my car. I live in a very small town. You know, the kind of town where everyone knows everyone. When my car died, it happened to be right in front of that creepy farmhouse. At this point, I'm yelling and hitting my steering wheel and saying a lot of words that I will not write in this letter due to Jessie. I will make sure to keep this letter as PG as possible.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So do I. As her mother, trust me when I say so do I, because some letters we get, Jack literally has to throw out because I won't read them on air, and neither will I allow her to. So I appreciate that. Okay, so the letter says, I popped the hood and got out of my car to see what was going on. I'm no mechanic, but I do have a little bit of car knowledge. As I'm walking to the front of my car, I look towards the old farmhouse. In front of the run-down, abandoned place was an old man watching me. He had to be around 80 years of age. He was dressed in what I would describe as early 1900s farmer's clothing, flat cap and tweeded jacket. You may be thinking, it sounds like a regular old man. So, what's the big deal? Well, this is where it gets interesting. As I turned to take another look, he was gone. This was like in 3 seconds between me looking forward and then turning back to look at him. Maybe he walked inside the farmhouse, I thought to myself. And that would have been a logical and reasonable explanation. However, when I turned to face my car, there he was, standing right in front of my car. There's no way this man could have ran at lightning speed from the old farmhouse to my car. The distance would have taken someone of youthful age at least 4 to 5 minutes. Now, here's the kicker. He vanished right before my eyes, and my car started back up. I slammed the hood down of my car and jumped back in. I sped away as fast as I could. I'm a big skeptic like the two of you, and I've never gone through something like this before. But let's just say the dress pants I was wearing were no longer dry by the time I got back in that car. If you choose to read my story on air, my pants will most likely be ruined once more because I will totally defecate myself.
Is he going to poop his pants?
Well, I hope
That's gonna be a bomb.
Well, I hope they had a change of pants because we just read their letter.
Yep, we sure did.
They definitely seen a ghost. There's no way, Jessie, an 80-year-old man could sprint across a field like that and just vanish. It's not possible.
The ghost appeared and then, vanished into nothingness. That means you were ghosted.
Oh gosh, definitely ghosted.
You just got ghosted!
This episode is brought to you by
Looking for a reputable notary republic at an affordable price? Well, look no further. Mrs. Ashley Lutchman is now taking appointments and accepting new clients. Jessie and I needed some documents to sign for our podcast.
We wanted someone with experience who was well known and didn't cost a fortune.
That's right. One of our good friends had worked with Mrs. Lutchman regarding some legal paperwork they needed notarized and recommended her to us.
She was professional, efficient, and affordable.
If you need important documents notarized, email Ashley Lutchman at ashleylutchman@gmail.com. Ashley Lutchman can be found on Instagram and TikTok. I will link her socials and her email in our show notes.
Ashley Lutchman is remote and commissioned in the state of Florida.
The next scary story I have is from Laura Bradshaw and is titled, My Aunt's House is Haunted. Hey Jenny, hey Jessie, Jack, and all the fur babies. My name is Laura, and yes, you can use my name. Okay, ladies, you forgot about Jack and Cooper. Anyway, this one's a doozy. My aunt's home is haunted. She's lived in that same home her whole life. Spooky things seem to happen on a day-to-day basis. Although my aunt is usually the one that endures almost all paranormal activities in that home, other family members and guests have had their fair share of ghostly encounters. I've only visited her house during some family functions, so usually it's a full house every time I'm over there. We have a very big family. Although I've never had any personal experience there, besides seeing shadows move from the corner of my eye every now and then, I like to share some stories that I've been told from my aunt. One of the things my aunt shared with me is that the bed in her room has always been pushed up against the wall. She slept at the wall side while her husband, my uncle, took the open side. Whenever she needs to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, she'd have to cross my sleeping uncle and climb out of bed. Keep in mind that both of my aunt and uncle are very tall people, so it wasn't the easiest task for my aunt to cross over my uncle to get to the bathroom. One night, my uncle woke up to feeling my aunt slipping past him. The bed shook as it usually did. He could feel her body edging its way off the bed. It was dark, so he couldn't make out much and was ready to fall back to sleep. However, he remembered that my aunt wasn't even there. She had left to visit her sister for a couple of days. My uncle realized he was all alone in the bed. In a panic, he sat up and turned on the bedside lamp. There in the middle of the room, he saw someone standing. It appeared to be a woman with long black hair. The hair shielded her face like a veil. Sounds like you got a secret admirer.
Or a ghost.
I didn't know that! That's crazy! That's crazy! She wore a white nightgown. This entity lifted its head. He could faintly see jet black eyes, no pupils. My uncle screamed as loud as his voice could go. The entity disappeared. Needless to say, my uncle and aunt no longer live in this home. They retired into a small condo. Keep it spooky, ladies. Sincerely, Laura M.
Oh my gosh. I would move too. That was super scary.
Would you actually move? Mom, you and me go through scary things all the time. We're still here.
Okay, you have a point. For us, it's different. It doesn't matter where we move. When it comes to you and me, it's never the house, Jessie. Never the house. Keep that in mind.
It's just us.
Jinx! Oh man.
Double jinx. Triple jinx. Quadruple jinx.
Okay.
Drinks. I said drinks. Last one.
I guess more milkshake drinks.
I mean, I do that.
We're too much alike. Too many milkshakes and gummy worms.
Thank you, Laura, for writing in. We loved your spooky story.
It would have been cool to do a ghost investigation there. It's a shame they don't live there anymore.
That would have been so much fun.
All right, everyone, don't turn this episode off just yet. Stick around for our bloopers at the end of our announcements. Our bloopers are a great palate cleanser from these scary and hard topics we discuss sometimes. It's a great way to laugh at the end of our show.
Well, folks, that's all the time we have. Thanks for tuning in. If you have a spooky story and would like to have it read on air, please write us at milkshakesghost@gmail.com. If you would like to follow our socials, we're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Threads, Twitter, and Patreon.
If you would like to become a Patreon member, please visit patreon.com/milkshakesandghosts. I will link it in the show notes along with all of our other socials.
Join Patreon for free monthly gifts and cool perks.
Let's give a shout out to our awesome, amazing Patreon members. Mr. E from Special Delivery Show. Check out the Special Delivery Show. His podcast takes interviews to a whole new level. I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors, Sinister Brew Coffee, where every sip reminds you that the dark side is delicious. Kona Coffee House LV, Hawaiian coffee delivering a taste of paradise. Ashley Lechman, a reputable notary republic at an affordable price. All of our sponsors are listed in our show notes along with links to contact them.
M&G VIP members also include, okay, I gotta get ready.
Go.
Frankenstein Monster 2000, Don't Die 82, Dracula's All Call, Darren Willis, Death Rock 1875, Electric 222, Clara Jones, John Jenna, Matt Mothman Prophecy 424, Vampires Rock 222, The Blonde Happenings with Kelly and Brenda, Witches for Life 1892, Bigfoot is Real 76, Blood Sucker 95, Nightmares AAA, Witchy Talks 65, Dracula Rock 22, Tina and Ruben, Ramos 1972, Marie, Mary Ann, The Paranormal Duo, Lauren Joanne, Bruce Doll Spooky, Harmony, Joan of Arc, The Dark Side, Ronald H, Joe Santana, Myra Miles from That's So Spooky, Jada Kimura H, Tony S, Gene from Truth Is Out There, Nadia and Edward, Carl and Becca, Mandy and Kenneth, Jules and Christina, Joel from The Paranormal Countdown, Alan, Zestar 1, Maxine, Sarah Screams, Jules M, Victor and Nyla, Hudson Canadian History, Melissa and Dan, The Truth Is Out There with Carly and Allison.
Woo, girl. I don't know how you do that with each episode. I can't. I hyperventilate just looking at you barely breathing. So thank you all so much for being Patreon members. We appreciate each and every single one of you. We love you with all our hearts.
And remember, keep drinking milkshakes.
And keep being spooky! It's time for bloopers! Listen to
Alphaba, Glinda.
When a tall, skeletal friggle... You heard me say that? His hideous face was twisted with malevolence. Malevolence, right? Yet I found myself... God, what is wrong with me?
I keep hearing you, I'm just like...
A spirit entered my body? That was woo! Did you hear that sound? Woo, girl! Woo! Woo. That was a lot.
The next story we have is titled... Hi,
me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
You just broke me? Whoa. Whoa.
That's kind of weird.
It's spooky season, 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 it's spooky season, it's spooky season, 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 spooky season,